just close your eyes for a moment and experience your singularity in your little body, in your chair, but feel the connection to each other soul in the room. Feel the connection to each other heart in the room. So just take another breath and really enjoy that gentleness and that vulnerable place where you can feel the heart of someone else. And it's full of love and support and caring. And you don't even have to know them, but you know that they are here. And see in your mind's eye all of those hearts like beads on a string. And they're together, and they go from this room and out the door. And they connect to other events and other places and other hearts. And those hearts encircle the planet. So just allow yourself to go there in your mind's eye, in your heart's beat, and feel yourself connected to those other 350 million old souls like you who are doing this work. Oh, and feel that support. And you might notice that there are strings of hearts around the planet in every direction, north, south, east, west, sideways, encircling all of us all the time. It's always there, this morphic field of love. And the love of the divine infusing each one, each heart, each one of us with that love. And you can tap into that place of love and honor for the human experience anytime, anywhere. It's always there. It just takes your awareness to go there, to be there, to be your heart's love. And how blessed we are to have the angels and the entourage around us to steer us back onto that course of love. And as we feel the love of the magnetic master Kryon that holds that world and those spinning hearts together.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Are you aware of the family in the room? We define family as souls who know each other. The definition of soul we've given you so many times, it changes every time we give it. Because it's impossible to define. It is a piece of God, it is a piece of you, it is a piece of the other person with you, next to you. It is what ties together all human beings into one. And those who have a perception of this even tie it with Gaia. The oneness of all things, the oneness of humanity, the oneness of consciousness and God is a beautiful concept, but it really truly only is the reality of a few humans on the planet. You've come from multi-years and literally eons of an experience of singularity. And this now starts to change. The exercises of today, the joy, the humor, the ahas, epiphanies, the knowledge, the potentials, possibilities, all of these are about opening what we will call a three-dimensional bubble of awareness. For those of you in the room who have been around on this planet half a century or more, you think about it. You have lived in a certain paradigm of existence. And you might have called yourselves New Age, you might have called yourselves metaphysical, esoteric. But the paradigm was the same, and that is you live and breathe and work in 3 or 4 dimensions. Depending upon how you describe your reality, you're still only in 3 or 4 dimensions. And you strive, perhaps, to involve intuition. And some of you do. You might be a healer, a medical intuitive, a reader, or any of those which broaches a multidimensional perception. But at the end of the day, you retreat into your 3 or 4 dimensional bubble. And this has been the survival of all of you. You are not yet multidimensional. But right now you are on the precipice of multidimensional expansion in so many ways. The science of your planet is just one. The biggest one is consciousness. So let me shatter a paradigm of where you think you might be going. Humanity wants to believe it's getting better within the paradigm that exists now, within the rules that exist now, within that which is your physics, which exists now, and it can't. You've gone as far as you can go. And now you're going to break out. You break out of one dimensionality, not into another. And that is a fallacy we have talked about before. You don't go to 5 simply because you're in 4. The breakout is from 4 to all. That is why this particular shattering of a paradigm of being in a 3D bubble is so magnificent. For you're going to broach becoming multi-dimensional. And as that occurs, it starts to push away the bubble that you have, and it's uncomfortable. Because now we are asking you to think beyond the limitations you think you are. I want to tell you what's going on that's going to make you uncomfortable. Old souls are starting to change the parameters and attributes of their 3D bubble. Now, this is not going to make sense. Because we speak in metaphors, it's all we have. It honestly is all we have. If we gave you the hard physics of it, the metaphysics of it, it would make less sense than what follows. Picture all of you surrounded by some kind of bubble that is your dimensionality. And now you are about to broach it, expand it, and include, to some degree, multidimensionality. One of 2 things is going to happen to you. You're either going to be able to do it or you're not. Now, I want you to think about that. And here's the thing that I want to tell you. It's not going to stay the same. It can't. Because the energy of all that is around you, including the grid system that we have put in place, is beginning to shift and allow a different kind of conscious physics. Now, what that does to your three-dimensional bubble of awareness is one of two things. It either is going to become semi-permeable, which you should see as holes in your bubble that allow multidimensional thought going in both directions. Or if you close in your consciousness, that is a life force that does something to your bubble. It's going to make it into a mirror. And if that's what you're going to do, it's going to be uncomfortable because it's going to start flashing back at you whatever you give to it. Doubt, fear, I cannot, victimization, all of the things that you've been fighting. If you do not break out of this, and you don't do it within the next few years, it's going to start cementing itself into a mirror. Now, this is not a punishment. This is what we're talking about. The energy around you is changing, and you're either going to change with it or you're not. But if you don't, it's going to get worse. Now, that's your decision. And it's not just you. It's going to happen to humanity. You're going to see those that change and those that don't. And it's going to be so apparent of those who are trapped in their bubbles. And everything they put out is going to bounce back at them, and it's going to make it worse. Now, this is the first time we ever broached this because we wanted the family to hear it here. Does this make any sense to you? That what is around you must change first. This is why the grid shifted. Do you know that, dear ones? It had to. The actual magnetics of this planet moved so greatly since I arrived, posturing this change. It is a physics change. Now let me tell you the other thing that's adding to it. Some of you will know of this and some of you will not. But right now, your solar system, as it revolves around the center of the galaxy, is passing through a new to you, area of space. Time to the extraterrestrial is measured in revs around the middle. There is no such thing as years and months, because every solar system has its own system of time based upon how it moves. There's only one constant in the galaxy, how long it takes you to go around it, because you all go at the same speed. You have been in this area of space before, but not while there was human life on the planet. You're about ready to move in a new area of space for you that contains a certain kind of radiation. It is a radiation that science is starting to see on the outskirts of this solar system moving in your direction. And there's fear. Haven't seen it before. It's different. And when it intersects the magnetic field of this planet and marries to the heliosphere of your sun, it is going to change the parameters of the very ethers around you, and your bubble will change. It is a reality shifter. It is right on time. Now, let me answer a question that is being asked right now by intellectuals listening. Well, Kryon, what if you hadn't made it? What if we hadn't done what you said we'd do? What if we had destroyed ourselves? And I will say, and? It would have happened anyway, and it would have fallen on a barren earth, destroyed by nuclear war. But instead, it falls upon life that decided to stay and be enhanced. That is your contract. And if you don't believe me, I want you to start looking around and asking science, is there something coming Can you see odd radiations in the solar system you haven't seen before? What's going on? And they will give you the physics of it, and they won't know what it is. I'm telling you what it is. It is a benevolence, a gift that's going to alter this planet. And the ones who are going to pick it up first are old souls. Now, I'm going to encourage you to break the bubble you're in. What are you afraid of? What are your doubts? Can you break out of the paradigm of fear, doubt, self-worth, and move into an area where that bubble of yours can receive what is being given? Because the physics of consciousness is about to change. Kryon, when is this going to occur? The answer is yes. It happens slowly. You'll be on the cutting edge of it. Your children will see it. Their children will see it more. The beauty of this should be obvious to you. Children who are born into new energies accept them as normal. They will come in with a bubble different than yours. They're not going to have to go through this. Their bubble will be semi-permeable. They will be ready for multidimensional thought, human consciousness. You know what? The kids look at you and they say, "What is wrong with you?" And some of them are right. Because it's not just that they haven't grown up yet. They've grown up fine. They're looking at old paradigms and they can't believe it. That they would be so antiquated, so uncompassionate, so limiting, so constricted, so singular. Some of them are right. Now you know why there's such a dramatic difference in generations. Their children will look at them the same way. Something is happening to the very ethers around you, the very physics of consciousness, and it's being enhanced by the kinds of radiations in the space that you're moving into, which are going to combine with what you have to create an advanced earth. You had to know, did you not, that this was going to happen? That once you passed that marker, something else would be involved? First time we talked about it. It's benevolent, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Children are being born on this planet now who have different parameters of biology. Some of them, I want you to watch for these things, because when they take place, you can remember this day. Remember the spooky, full, weird guy on channel giving you information. But when it starts to become news, maybe then you'll say, well, maybe some of the other things he said are going to happen too. Watch for children with enlarged livers. Why would they have such a thing? And the answer is to clean the toxins and be better prepared for an earth that was created with pollution. How about that? And so they're not going to die as early because they're better prepared. Watch for children coming in with other attributes in the immune system that will fight some of the things you have fought all your lives. Watch for a humanity that will not get cancer. Watch for a humanity that will not have the diseases, even the ones in your genes that you pass to them. Because their DNA is going to work better than yours. Because there's a posturing around them, something that is coming, something that is changing, the very atmosphere you breathe, the magnetics you sit in, and the physics of human consciousness that will affect life itself. It has to be this way. You pass the marker. It's not a reward, it's a fact. The Pleiadians knew it was coming. It was measured that way. Less than half a rev, you'd be there, and you are. Figure that out. This is perfect timing. I told my partner, 2012, I said, why don't you take 2013 and just do nothing? Get into a closet. Let somebody feed you under the door. That was a metaphor for stand back, because the energies of everything around you are not going to be pleasant. And they're going to create grief and sorrow and anxiety and fear. And they did. And now it's 2014. Moving into 2015, I tell you, you really passed a very, very important marker. Old soul, you really did. Now, there are those in this audience right now, this is all brand new to them, everything. What are you going to do with this? And so I'm going to tell all of you, you have time. Can you relax? This information I'm giving you is going to take generations. You have time to sort out these things, to work these things, and at the same time, you can watch them happening with other human beings around you, who will begin to close in on themselves, and their problems will become deeper and harder for them because their shells are becoming mirrors of themselves. This is an invitation for you to expand. Now, if all this is new to you, I want you to relax. And I want you to ask your own discerning body, when you're alone and away from this crowd and these influences and this channel, whether any of these things are real and true. Because your body, old soul, is designed to pull you to truth. And if you listen, it'll wink at you and say, it took you long enough to find out. Watch for the voice that says, welcome home. The information is not that strange. It's not that weird. It's not a doctrine for you to follow. There's nothing to worship. It's information that is grand and benevolent about humanity and your part in it, should you wish to join in expansion. You wouldn't be sitting here unless this was the case. I want to address the listener right now. I've done something I haven't done before. The channelings at the end of the second day Akashic Power seminars are not recorded. This one is. I told my partner to go push the button, and he was surprised. And now he knows why. For this information needs to get out. Now, listener, listen to me. You're not in the room, and we know you're not in the room. This applies to every single old soul on the planet. The invitation to expand has been given. The time capsules are starting to open. They will then open with new invention. They're going to change some of the parameters of reality. It's going to take a while, but there's going to be new discovery coming through that are going to be worldwide and will affect health so positively. Inventions that will start extending life for all. It's the old soul that is going to start receiving the ideas on how then to work with the problems that have been yours for a long time. Energy, overpopulation, health, food. And those answers are ready to come to you. And they won't be the ones you expect. And there will be all these ahas, why didn't we think of this before? And you're going to realize You're just a little smarter than you were the last generation. Old soul, I want you to hear this. Everyone listening to this, you are coming back. Young person, old person, senior, you're coming back. And you're going to work this puzzle for generations. And when you return, you're going to remember a lot of what you learned this time around. You won't have to do it again. We've said this before. It's going to be intuitive. And so you're going to have to awaken to intuition. If you want to see an awakening generation to intuition, take a look at the young people today. Take a look at the very young people today and listen to what they're saying. That's intuitive thought. One of the things they're telling you, the grandchildren are telling you who they've been before. What does that tell you? DNA is changing. They're becoming more aware of the things in their Akash. You can too. This should excite you. It should not depress you. I don't want anyone in this room to take any of this and make it negative, because that is not how it's being presented. There is so much here for you. What is coming at you in space is like the salt for a good meal. You've cooked it for a long time and it's ready to eat it and nourish you like it's never done before. The timing is perfect. You're in the right place at the right time. There's never been a time like this. Don't let the news depress you, because it will if you let it. That's enough for now. And so it is.